Watching Chloe Bailey's career over the last 2 years has been a wild ride, to say the least. At first, it seemed like things were off to a questionable but great start, like when Have Mercy came out and ended up reaching the top 30. But it wouldn't be soon before my optimism would take a nosedive with the vulgar and gratuitous Treat Me, where we basically saw Chloe cosplay as a thought rapper. Seriously, who approved this? 5 singles later, we've arrived at How Does It Feel, the last song to be released before her album comes out later this month. A smooth and heartfelt mid-tempo, the track generated intense controversy because it featured repeat abuser Chris Brown. At this point, it became painfully obvious her team is scrambling for a hit before the album releases. Perhaps they were banking on the controversy surrounding the collab to generate interest in the song. But it seems like that didn't work, as the song unfortunately missed the Hot 100 entirely. Now we're at the point where her album is about to come out, and there's not even a moderate hit on it. Chloe has stated that none of the songs she released before this year will be on the album, not even her biggest hit, Have Mercy. To be honest, I'll be surprised if the album even sells 10K first week. Ari Lennox only did 12K with ASL, and she had Pressure on it, which was a big R&B hit. All in all, it feels like something was mishandled with the rollout of Chloe's solo career, and I'd like to share my thoughts on what I think it was. But first, if you like insightful commentary on pop culture and entertainment, please like and subscribe for more. Let me start this critique off by acknowledging that it seems way more difficult to break female R&B/urban pop artists these days. I don't know if it's just the culture of today, but it seems like if you're not a rapper, it's harder to really blow up. Other than SZA, Summer Walker, and Jhené Aiko, there aren't really any women in R&B who are organically mainstream. No shade to her, but her come up has always been a little industry planty in my opinion. The previous tried and true strategy of pushing an ambiguous light-skinned girl doesn't even work that well anymore. No shade, but just ask Tinashe or LMA. They didn't turn out to be as big as we thought they would be. Meanwhile, female rappers have been blowing up left and right. Since 2017, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, Latto, Ice Spice, and Glorilla have all had huge viral moments or big hits. With that being said, it's clear Chloe and her team had their work cut out for them. Which brings me to the first issue of the rollout, her image. If I had to guess, her and her team probably thought that Chloe adopting the raunchy image of female rappers was a surefire way to get more attention, and it did work, but it wasn't the right attention. All those likes and retweets came from thirsty men who wanted to bed her, and not from people actually interested in her music. Her image with her sister was more so girl next door with elements of tasteful sexiness thrown in. Unfortunately, it seems like that tastefulness went away the minute she started going viral for seductively sucking lollipops and doing TikTok bust-it challenges. I don't think there's anything wrong with the R&B girlies being sexy, but I find when the sexiness starts to border on vulgarity, it becomes cringe. IDK, vulgar works better for female rappers. Even her mentor Beyonce kept it cute for over 10 years. She didn't really get vulgar until her self-titled album in 2013, when her brand and audience was already solidified. Before that, her image was of a sexy showgirl. When you come out the gate early with an overly raunchy image, it limits your appeal, which is the last thing a new artist needs. I know for a fact that Chloe's antics turned a lot of potential casual fans off. I wish she would have kept it cute for at least one album cycle before she went full-blown singing stripper. The fact Chloe's team allowed her to market herself in this way blows my mind. But they also thought Treat Me was a great follow-up to Have Mercy, so maybe I shouldn't be all that surprised. And speaking of the music, that was my second issue with Chloe's rollout. I hate to say it, but the music Chloe makes with her sister is way better than her solo music, bro. It's also more mature and feels more unique. The music on Ungodly Hour is truly chef's kiss. It straddles a safe balance between experimental but still mainstream. But when it comes to Chloe's solo music, it honestly just feels a bit generic. With that being said, I must admit that I've always liked Have Mercy. It gives me so much motivation when I'm on the Stairmaster trying to get my butt nice and perky like Chloe's. To me, this song sounds like a hit and is the most hit-worthy song she's put out so far. Y'all can fight me in the comments on that one. I also feel like Have Mercy did what a good pop song is supposed to do. capitalize on the newfound popularity, and address the narrative surrounding the artist. During this time, Chloe was getting a lot of attention for being a thick little mama. Have Mercy came out and played off that energy perfectly. Not to mention, I love how the song is structured, and I love how Chloe's vocals and lyrics bounce off that banging ass beat. Yeah, the video and VMA performance were a bit much, but I didn't have a problem with it, as I thought she would soon pivot into something with a bit more substance. Man, I was so wrong. Her team basically followed up with Have Mercy 2.0, aka Treat Me. God, I hate this song. It's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, I kinda bop to it cause it slightly knocks and the bridge is decent, but good God, this song is a mess. From the wannabe bad bitch verses to the random opera vocals she adds in at the end, there's too much going on and not in a good way. And don't even get me started on the video. It was giving very much so. I was awkward and undesirable in high school, but now I'm hot, so I'm gonna shove it in everyone's face. Gee, the fact she dry humped a chair and the floor, and no one on her team said, actually, let's cut this, baffles me. I'm so convinced Beyonce is sabotaging this girl, because what is the reason? Anyways, I feel like Team Chloe realized they went too far in a raunchy direction with Treat Me and tried to backpedal a little with the following releases, Surprise, For the Night, and Pray It Away. But even then, it's like they barely tried to clean things up, as these songs still contain lyrics about her pulling her panties to the side or saying F N word 10 times before the song barely begins. I don't know why she insists on being an urban thotterati princess so badly. Well, none of those songs did well either. By the time we got to the announcement and release of How Does It Feel, it became apparent that audiences are not feeling Chloe's music at the moment. And it's unfortunate, because I feel like if the song had been the follow-up to Have Mercy, it probably would have been a decent hit. But child, I think by the time it was released, we were all Chloe Bailey'd out. Chris Brown is an urban radio mainstay though, so maybe there's hope that radio will pick up the song in the coming weeks. So, where does this leave us? Well, we have an album coming out very soon with no hit supporting it, so decent sales are most likely out of the question unless it spawns a hit later down the road. We have an artist who seems dead set on selling an image that gets attention for every reason besides the music. If your online antics generate more engagement than your music, oh honey, you got a big storm coming. And finally, we have a bunch of people turned off or just straight up confused about who the heck Chloe Bailey is as an artist. Is she an R&B act or a wannabe female rapper? Is she a musical performer or just a stripper with a microphone and vocal talent? Why is she able to produce, sing, and write music, but her songs end up being mostly faceless? The silver lining in this situation is Chloe can flop, and then she and her team can use the flop as a lesson on what not to do with her sophomore project. Oh, and the fact she's going on a small tour is cool too. Chloe has the potential to be a great live act, and I think it's great that she's beginning to establish herself as that. I ultimately feel like live performances are where she stands out, and it's her greatest selling point.